All right. So again, welcome and thank you for joining us. Welcome back to our returning virtual pre-pharmacy club members, and welcome to our new members that will be joining us for this 25-26 academic school year. So this session is going to be a high-level overview of what we have planned for this fall, both specifically for our virtual pre-pharmacy club, as well as what we have available for you all here at the School of Pharmacy. So if you have friends, if you have colleagues that are pursuing their Doctor of Pharmacy degree this academic school year or maybe in the future, I think this is a great opportunity to share with your friends and colleagues about, how to get additional support as you navigate the admissions process. If we haven't had a chance to meet, my name is Layara Powell, and I serve as the Associate Director of Recruitment. And I'm super excited to be joined by one of our lean team members, Dr. Rose. If you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, welcome. Nice to see everyone here. My name is Christina Rose. I am the Assistant Dean of Admissions for the School of Pharmacy, and also one of the pharmacy practice faculty members that has been teaching at the school for almost 18 years now. And
Wow.
I'm also a practicing pharmacist. So I have lots of experience working in different areas of pharmacy, and hopefully we'll get to discuss and share a little bit about that today.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. And in addition, we have two additional team members, Ms. Joan Hankins, who serves as our Director of Admissions, a wealth of knowledge. She has been with the university for over 40 years at this point. So comes with a wealth of knowledge and knows everything that there is to know when it comes to the admissions process, and will be supporting you all as well once you officially begin your admissions process utilizing FarmCast, which is the platform that our applications are processed through. And in addition, we also have Miss Adrienne Henry, who serves as our administrative assistant, and she also provides a great support in terms of getting our students scheduled for interviews, making sure you're set up for success once you get to that process. And then also, if you call into the office, you'll have the pleasure of speaking with her to get some additional support as you begin and navigate through this application process. And so just kind of want to share with you, especially those that are new, the mission and goal of our club is really to provide you all with comprehensive information about the school, but also offer tailored support and resources that can foster a strong sense of belonging within our Temple University community. And as you may or may not know, the School of Pharmacy, or excuse me, the university is large. But the beauty and the special thing that I love about the School of Pharmacy is how close knit and how small of an entity we are of the larger university. And so we really take pride in being a family. I know it sounds corny, but we are a family, and we really want our prospective students, whether you have started the application process, will be beginning the application process, or know nothing about the application process, that you have the community supporting you. So that's myself, Dr. Rose, our two other team members, but also faculty, other staff, and our student ambassadors, which are here to support you. So, you don't have to necessarily wait until you're admitted to really feel like you're a part of our Temple family. In addition to having this network available to you, we really want to provide you with resources so that you all can feel well informed and have the knowledge that you need to feel empowered through this process. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, especially if you're in the middle of taking or completing our prerequisite courses. And so on the back end, while you're doing well in class, how can we support you you with your application, answering those questions that, just making sure you feel sure about your next steps as you prepare for matriculation into the program. And as you can see, it is a virtual pre-pharmacy club. So we meet you right where you are. So whether or not you're applying for fall 2026 or you're looking in the future, this club is open to you and available to you. So all of the sessions that we will host throughout this fall semester and next spring will be held virtually. However, there will be opportunities for you all to join us on campus at the Health Science Center campus, which is where Temple University School of Pharmacy is housed. So if you are familiar with the Philadelphia area, we're about 15 minutes from our main campus and right next door to our Temple University Hospital. So accessible by public transportation. There's two parking garages that sits across from the school as well as behind. So if you're choosing to drive, and then there's also tons of parking. Just got to pay for your parking because we're in a city and we don't want you to get a ticket. So, but the good thing is that, like I said, all of our majority, 90% of the events that we'll have will be virtual. However, when we do have in-person events, you are also invited to that. In terms of, just kind of staying engaged and why to join, it's what you make it. We have all of these opportunities, we have all of these resources, and we really want you to take advantage of it. So whether that be via mentorship, access to the various events, both in the community and outside of it, but also this is our second year of hosting this club, and I'm happy to report that we had a few members that were a part of the club last year now matriculate into our program as first year students. So we are getting to see students really take advantage of the resources that we have available before they become students in our school and in our program, and how it has attributed to their success and, making that seamless transition into the School of Pharmacy. I am a New Yorker, so I will talk and I hate dead spaces. So, but if you have questions, you can just take yourself off mute and pop right on in with your questions, comments, and or concerns. And so, in terms of pharmacy career pathways and their opportunities, there's so much growth within the field of pharmacy. And so, the role in which most are familiar with is dispensing medication in your local pharmacies. However, the role of a pharmacist is so robust and so diverse. And I think that as a school, we really do a good job with exposing our students to seeing those various opportunities within the field. And so I'll also just will ask Dr. Rose to give, just a high level overview of some of those additional opportunities, and also speak to her opportunities as a practicing pharmacist.
Sure. So as Layara mentioned, I think most people are familiar with the role of a community pharmacist. But at Temple, we have multiple electives, student professional organizations that will expose you to different roles in pharmacy. So myself specifically, when I graduated with my Doctor of Pharmacy degree, I completed something called residency training, and that's a postgraduate pathway that's optional for graduate pharmacists to complete if they want to go into more of a clinical setting or specialize in a certain area. So I specialized in critical care pharmacy. So what does that mean? What that means is I work with patients that are very sick and they're in the intensive care unit. And I work with the healthcare team to, my role as a pharmacist is to make sure that all the medications that are being used are safe and appropriate in all the ways that pharmacists will assess medications. So, you may or may not know that pharmacists can specialize in different areas. We have faculty within the School of Pharmacy that are specialists in public health, transplant, infectious disease, managing chronic diseases like diabetes and high blood pressure. And they work directly with patients to manage those diseases as well. There are pharmacists that work in veterinary pharmacies, and what they do is dispense and make sure medications are appropriate for our pets. So that might be an area that you're not familiar with, and we do have opportunities for you to learn more about that at Temple um, as well. Pharmacists are involved in research. You will get some exposure to that if you would end up choosing to come to Temple program. Uh, whether it's science, basic science research or clinical research, where you're, working directly with patients and seeing how they react to different medications. And then a lot of students are interested in the business and the regulatory side of pharmacy. So how drugs go from, being discovered in a lab to getting to the patient. So that process, and are interested in what goes on in the pharmaceutical industry of how a drug goes from development to the patient. And so within Temple, we do have elective courses where you can learn more about that area. And then we have more experiential opportunities for our students to learn more about what pharmacists do in the pharmaceutical industry as well. So that's just a few, but there are numerous other ones that we will talk about throughout the next few months within this club. And if there's any area that any of you are interested in exploring more, please share that with Layara and I, and we'll try and add that to our agenda for this year.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Rose. And so in terms of we want to kind of give you a brief overview. We are a school, a program, it's a professional program. So we do have students that are coming to our program and matriculating with and without their bachelor's degree. We do have students that are coming from high school through our early assurance pathway. We have some students that are choosing to complete their prerequisites at their local community college, and then matriculate into our program. And then we also have students that have completed their bachelor's degree or even a master's degree and looking for a new career pathway within the field of pharmacy. So there's no right or wrong way. I always say that there's no right or wrong way to embark on your Doctor of Pharmacy program. The best way is the way that you choose. And we just want to be here to help you figure out what is that pathway look like, and the steps that you individually need to take. So you don't have to submit your application in order to get help with understanding when to start the application, what classes do you need to take, or, you don't even have to know what type of area of pharmacy you want to go into. Those things are available to you as you begin the process and also as you matriculate through the program. We will have, and we'll share in a later slide, when we will have our open house events. We'll get further into detail about our dual degree options and elective pathways, or elective concentration tracks, to help differentiate your Doctor of Pharmacy degree. And so that will be shared with you so you can put that on your calendar if you're interested in joining us virtually and or in person, which I always encourage, because it really helps you to get a feel of where you may be spending the next 4 years of your academic career. Um, super excited that one, we're not only supporting students while they're here, but also what does it look like thereafter? And having a residency match rate if you choose to pursue that after graduating, with 83% of our students having a match rate or matching to their choice of their post-residency experiences, and also making sure our students not only are recruiting students, but we're retaining students to be successful and having an 83% on-time graduation rate. I think it really just speaks to what we're doing both in and outside the classroom to support our students. And we have been consistently doing well with making sure that our students are set up for success when it is time to become licensed pharmacists. So not just graduating, but getting your license. And also we have students that come from not only Pennsylvania, but outside of Pennsylvania. And so supporting students that are thinking about, hey, I maybe want to relocate or go to another state. What does that look like? And making sure that you are licensed in those states. So I think, and I'm unbiased because I'm not a graduate of Temple and I've had the opportunity of working at two other institutions. And our faculty and staff are just second to none when it comes to supporting our students. The open door policies that we have, the office hours, the peer mentorships, the mentor night that we get to invite alumni back. And so, again, as you maintain your membership as a virtual pre-pharmacy club member, you'll get to have those experiences of hearing from alumni, hearing from faculty, hearing from other staff, and even other departments that we partner with to really provide you all with a robust experience here at the School of Pharmacy. And so I did kind of briefly mention, but you all, when it's time, when you're submitting your application, we will have a session that will support you specifically for the processing of your application. And so just making sure that one, you have an established individualized timeline. What does that look like? Making sure that you've taken the courses that are required, but then also if there's a deficit in any of our prerequisites, making sure we're supporting you with having a plan to complete those and still be on track to start, whether you're looking to join us in the fall of 2026 or thereafter. And then also, we want you all to be strong applicants. And so, what does that look like? That looks like something different for everyone because everyone comes with a different type of strength. Everyone is coming with something different. And so, that's why we really do a good job with having sessions like these. But also, we are open to meeting with our applicants individually just to make sure that they have the resources that they need to be a strong applicant, and avoid those common mistakes of just not asking questions or just assuming that you have to do it on your own and you don't. And so this is another way that this club can support you. So if you feel like, hey, I know where I want to go, I kind of know what I need to do, but I just want, or I've completed all my prerequisites, but I want to make sure that, I'm not making mistakes. You want to really utilize the opportunities that are available to you wherever you are in the process of submitting your application. Also, we will just as a for the opportunities once you are admitted, and we're going to speak it into existence that you all will be admitted and you all are stellar students. But we have tutoring, we have study groups, we have academic advising, info sessions throughout the times that you're matriculating through our program. So, we'll talk during open house about our dual degree programs and about our elective concentration tracks. But then once you're a student, how can we support you by having those info sessions available and ready to be facilitated? So as you matriculate through the PharmD program, you can learn more and really, okay, once you've made your transition into the school, now you may want to think about what those opportunities may look like with extending your academic program. But then also having, as Dr. Rose mentioned, research opportunities and shadowing opportunities, which I think is great. One of our student ambassadors last week, no, on Monday actually, had an opportunity to shadow one of our fourth year student, and he's a second year student. And I think having that dynamic for available for our students really gives our students, whether they're in their first or second year or in their third or final year, that opportunity to kind of be a coach a little bit, to be a mentor, but also to be mentored by someone that has already completed their first, second, and third year and preparing for graduation. But then also looking at what it will look like during their fourth and final year. So I think we're really intentional about making sure our students have a well-rounded experience, but also they feel supported at every level, whether they're during their first year, second year, third year, or fourth year, because each year looks different. But it all will culminate to you being successful once you graduate. And so, as I mentioned, in addition to our events that we will have every month on a Thursday, we've selected either the third or fourth Thursday of every month for a different session. But we've also wanted to share with you our upcoming open house events, which will be held virtually on Saturday, October 11th, and then we'll have an in-person open house, which will be on Saturday, November 15th. The three workshops, so today is session number one for our virtual pre-pharmacy club, but then we will have another session Thursday, October 23rd, another one on Thursday, November 20th, and then our final application workshop, which will be on Thursday, December 18th. And so we really want to provide you all with things that are going to help you and things that you want to learn about. And so if you, as you all have submitted your JOT form and your membership form, there was a space for you to share, areas that you have questions about or areas that you want to learn more about. And if you want to share that with us or put that in the chat, we will definitely look to use those ideas to help create what the schedule will look like for the spring. So if we, as you can see, our fall schedule is pretty set, but the spring has some wiggle room to add some additional areas of interest that we want to cater to you and all of the members of this club. So I do want to take a moment to, check the chat, but also give you an opportunity to take yourself off mute and maybe ask any general questions, or just, any comments, concerns, before we wrap up for the evening. Does anyone have any suggestions about something that they would like to learn more about? You can choose to put it in the chat or take yourself off mute.
Oh, I actually have a question.
Okay.
So, like, as undergraduate students, like, is there any way we could get involved with like clubs that are part of like the Temple School of Pharmacy?
Yes, so we do have an in-person club that, are you a Temple main campus student, Isabel?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Are you a main campus student?
Yes.
Okay, so there's actually a pre-pharmacy club on main campus.
Mhm.
And so that is in addition to our virtual club. In addition, there is a pre-health club on main campus that you can also get involved in.
And Isabel, we're trying to figure out what student organizations within the pharmacy school would be like appropriate to offer to like the undergraduate students. So you will be getting more information about some of the clubs that are going on at the pharmacy school. And you can look for that information because you may be able to find one that you're interested in and figure out how to join those.
Okay, thank you.
It just
And for
really,
those that, sorry, may not know, we do have 25 different student clubs, which I think is really cool because it speaks to the various interests of our students, but also to the various opportunities within pharmacy. And so you will have the opportunity to learn about specific areas within pharmacy, whether you want to go into industry, whether you want to go into advanced clinical practice, even, thinking about policy. So there are different areas in which our club, even veterinarian pharmacy, which is one of the newer clubs, and we also have some professional organizations or fraternities and sororities as well. And so, as Dr. Rose mentioned, although they live in the School of Pharmacy as main campus students, we hopefully will be able to provide you with some additional opportunities to join those clubs as well. And if not, we can also have them present. There was a question in the chat regarding GPA. And so the recommended minimum GPA is a 2.7 for those that may not be able to see the chat. So a recommended GPA, that's your overall GPA as well as your science, should be a 2.7. So you want to shoot for C's or better in all of your science courses. In the event that you do have a lower grade, you will need to repeat it. But we will chat with you individually if you want to email Dr. Rose or I. Will put our emails in the chat so you can reach out to us regarding those requirements.
and we also require classes to be completed with at least a C minus and above. So if there's one class that you struggled with, and you ended up getting less than a C minus, that would need to be repeated. So it's just something else to note. What, just because we didn't ask this yet, what part of the process, looking into in the PharmD program is everyone in? So Isabel, you are a freshman in the undergraduate program, right?
Oh, I'm actually a sophomore.
Oh, sophomore. Okay,
Nice.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
great. Are you going to be applying for the into the PharmD program this year or after next year?
I think it's this summer I'm applying.
Okay.
To start, when is your goal to begin the PharmD program?
I think it's like 20 fall 2027.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yep. So, for those, just to kind of give you the lay of the land when it comes to the application process. So, the portal opens in mid-July. So, you can start working on your application in the summer. So, for those that are looking for this upcoming fall 2026, the application portal has opened and that opened July 15th, if I'm not mistaken, and the deadline is March 2nd. So for those that are looking to come in the fall of 2026, you should have submitted your application by March 2nd of 2026. Those that are looking for fall 2027, such as Isabel or anyone else, you would start working on your application this summer. And so the good thing is that you have pretty much 9 months to get all of your application and supplemental documents turned in. But again, you don't have to do that by yourself. You can reach out to Dr. Rose and I, as well as Ms. Hankins, to just have checkpoint conversations of where you are, what courses you've completed, what courses you'll need to complete. And then also you can start working on solidifying who's going to write those letter of recommendations for you, because you will need to. So, you really want to build that rapport and that relationship with your professors, or for those that may have pharmacy experience, having your supervisor speak to your professional capabilities and what you're able to contribute. And also think about in your personal statement, what do you want to contribute and what do you want to get out of this program? All programs are different. And so really learning about each program and seeing why it's a best fit, you can add that to your personal statement to really speak to why, this would be a good place for you. And so also coming to an event and really getting to know the faculty and staff and hear directly from the students, I think really makes a difference in terms of knowing what you're going to embark on and the place you're going to be. In addition, I do want to drop some links in the chat. One will be for our upcoming virtual event, our virtual open house, which will be on Saturday, October 11th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. So we'll do a more in-depth review and overview of our program, but also we'll have some of our student ambassadors speaking about their experiences. So if you're not local to the Philadelphia area, you can still participate in this event. If you are local or don't mind traveling, you can also register for our in-person open house event, which will have breakout sessions facilitated by our faculty. And then also it'll give you an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the various areas of pharmacy. It just kind of gives you a little bit of more insight, essentially. And also, some of you may be coming with an idea of what area of pharmacy you want to go into, but we also want to expose you to some other areas that you may not be aware of. And I just want to make sure that we don't have any other questions.
Oh wait, can I ask